The sky was full of smoke and fire. The once bright city now looked like a dark, burning ruin. Buildings were broken and burning. The ground shook as explosions went off in the distance. People ran in fear, screaming and crying. It was a scene. Of horror, no one could forget Dot in the middle of this chaos. A man named Eli moved quietly. No one noticed him. He was a simple man, thin and small. He wore old clothes and had no special weapons or armor. People called him a nobody. He worked as a mechanic, fixing broken machines in a small workshop. Nothing about him seemed important in a city fighting for its life. Eli was not a fighter. He never wanted to be. But today he walked through the burning streets with his heart beating fast. He had heard a strange sound, a woman's cry for help. He stopped and looked around. Thick smoke covered everything. The fire was close. He could feel the heat on his face. Still, the cry came again. It was weak but clear. He followed the sound, moving carefully between burning cars and falling debris. His breath was short, and his legs ached. The city was dying, but he had to find her. Finally, Eli saw her. A woman trapped behind a wall of fire. Her clothes were torn, and she looked tired and scared. She was coughing, trying to breathe through the smoke. Eli's heart jumped. He didn't know who she was, but he knew he had to save her. No one else was coming. He looked around for a way to reach her. The fire burned fiercely, but he found a narrow path between two burning buildings. The flames were hot, but Eli stepped forward. Each step was harder than the last. Dot. As he moved closer, the fire crackled loudly. Smoke filled his lungs, making it hard to breathe. His eyes watered, but he did not stop. The woman's voice was weaker. "Now, help, please," Eli called back. "I'm coming." He reached out his hand through the flames. The woman saw him and tried to move toward him, but the fire blocked her way. Panic was clear in her eyes. Suddenly, a wooden beam fell near Eli with a loud crash. His heart raced. The fire was getting closer. He had to be quick. Eli grabbed a wet cloth from his pocket and covered his mouth and nose. It helped him breathe better. He moved fast, jumping over small fires. His skin burned from the heat, but he ignored the pain. The woman was counting on him. Finally, Eli reached her. He took her hand gently. "I will get you out." The woman looked at him. Her eyes were full of fear and hope. Eli felt a strange connection, like their lives were now tied. With great effort, Eli pulled her toward the narrow path. The fire crackled around them. The air was thick with smoke, but they kept moving. Suddenly, a loud explosion shook the ground. Part of the wall nearby fell, blocking their way back. Eli's heart pounded. They were trapped, but Eli did not give up. He looked around and saw a small opening between two burning walls. It was risky, but their only way out. He whispered, "Stay close." With the woman holding tightly to his arm, Eli squeezed through the opening. Flames brushed their clothes. The heat was unbearable. Eli's mind raced. Why was this woman so important? Why did he feel a strong need to protect her? He had no answers, only the will to survive. After what felt like hours but was only minutes, they reached a small, safe space. The fire was far behind them now. The woman collapsed, coughing hard. Eli helped her sit down. She was weak but alive. "Who are you?" Eli asked gently. She looked at him with tired eyes. "My name is Lyra. Please, you have to help me. They want me dead." Eli's eyes widened. "Who wants to hurt you?" Lyra shook her head slowly. "I can't explain now, but if they find me, it will mean the end for many." Eli looked at the burning city around them. He thought about his quiet life, his small workshop, and all the times he stayed safe. Now, Everything was different. Had risked everything to save Lyra, a woman he barely knew. And he felt deep inside that nothing would ever be the same again not far away. The sound of enemy ships grew louder. Shadows moved between the ruins. Someone was coming. Eli stood up, pulling Lyra gently to her feet. We need to move. It's not safe here. Lyra nodded, her face pale but determined. Thank you for saving me. Eli looked at her, a small spark of hope burning inside him. Maybe, just maybe, this was the start of something bigger. Together, they disappeared into the smoke and darkness, two strangers bound by fire and fate. The ruins around them were quiet now, but danger was still near. Eli helped Lyra walk slowly through the smoky streets. Her breathing was weak, but her eyes were sharp, watching every shadow. Why did they want to kill you? Eli asked quietly, afraid to break the silence. Lyra shook her head, looking down. I wish I could tell you everything, but some truths are too dangerous. Eli looked at her, feeling a mix of worry and curiosity. He had never met anyone like Lyra. She was not just scared. There was strength inside her, too. They found shelter in an old, broken building. The roof was half fallen, but it kept the worst of the smoke out. Eli helped her sit down carefully. I don't even know if I can trust you, Lyra said, her voice soft but firm. Eli smiled faintly. I'm nobody, no one important. But I promise I won't let anything happen to you. Lyra's eyes searched his face. That's what worries me. Before Eli could ask why, a sharp sound broke the silence. Footsteps. Someone was coming. Eli stood quickly, pulling a small tool. From his belt, a simple metal rod. Not much for a fight, but better than nothing. They both held their breath as the footsteps grew closer. Through the broken wall, two figures appeared, their armor shining under the firelight. Enemies, Lyra whispered. They found me. Eli's heart pounded. He was no soldier, but he felt the need to protect her more than ever. The strangers moved slowly, scanning the building. Eli grabbed Lyra's hand. We have to hide. They slipped through a narrow gap behind some fallen beams. The air was thick, and the smoke burned their eyes, but they stayed silent. One of the strangers stopped, looking directly toward their hiding spot. Eli's hand tightened around Lyra's. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the front of the building. The soldiers turned and rushed out. Chance to escape, Lyra said, pulling Eli gently. They moved quickly but carefully, slipping through shadows and debris. Eli's mind raced. He wanted to ask so many questions, but now was not the time. As they moved, Lyra suddenly stopped and looked back toward the soldiers. They won't stop looking for me, she said quietly. They fear what I carry. Eli's heart grew heavy with confusion. What do you carry? Lyra hesitated, then pulled a small glowing device from her pocket. It was strange and beautiful, shining with blue light. This, she said, could change the fate of many worlds. Eli stared at the device. It was unlike anything he had seen. Why hide it? Why run? Lyra's eyes filled with pain. Because those who want it will destroy anything to get it, including me. Eli looked around at the burning city once more. He thought about his quiet life, now shattered by this strange woman and her secret. He knew one thing for sure. His life would never be the same again. Suddenly, a distant alarm blared. The city was waking up to danger. We must move, Eli said. I'll keep you safe. Lyra nodded, trusting the man who was once a nobody, but now her only hope. Together, they disappeared deeper into the burning world, with enemies closing in, and a secret that could change everything. The city's fires flickered like angry ghosts in the night, casting long shadows over broken streets. Eli and Lyra moved carefully, their footsteps soft but quick. Every sound seemed louder now. Distant shouts, crashing debris, and the echo of heavy boots hunting for them. Lyra leaned on Eli, still weak but determined. "We can't stay here long," she whispered. "They're organizing search teams." Eli's eyes scanned the ruins. "Where can we go?" "Everyone's running or hiding." Lyra's gaze hardened. "There's a place, an old safe house outside. The city, hidden underground. If we reach it, we can rest, maybe find answers." Without waiting, Eli helped her up, and they started moving toward the city's edge. The air was thick with smoke, but the night was cooler, easing the burning pain in their lungs. As they moved, Lyra's eyes caught a sudden movement. Two figures appeared ahead, blocking their path. Aliens with sharp armor and cold eyes. Eli's grip on his tool tightened. "Freeze." One growled in a strange language. Lyra stepped forward. "Please, we don't want trouble." The aliens exchanged glances. Then the leader spoke in broken English. "You are the one we seek." Eli's heart pounded. "Leave her alone," he said, trying to sound braver than he felt. The leader laughed coldly. "You protect her now? A nobody? This will be interesting." Lyra's hand slipped into her pocket, fingers tightening around the glowing device. Suddenly, a loud explosion rocked the street behind them. Both sides turned to see a squad of human fighters rushing in, shouting orders. "Get down!" One yelled. Chaos broke out. Eli grabbed Lyra and ducked behind a fallen wall. Bullets and energy blasts tore through the air. In the middle of the fight, Eli saw something change in Lyra. She wasn't just a scared woman anymore. Her eyes burned with fierce determination. She activated the device, and a blue shield flashed around them. The attackers hesitated, then retreated. Breathing hard, Eli looked at Lyra. "What was that?" She smiled weakly. "A gift and a curse." They ran with the fighters, hoping to reach safety. Eli knew this was just the beginning. Whatever Lyra carried, it was powerful and dangerous. And now, because of him, Eli was part of this fight. Eli and Lyra finally reached the safe house, a hidden bunker buried beneath the rubble of an old building outside the city. Inside, the air was cooler, quiet except for the faint hum of old machines. Lyra sank onto a dusty chair, exhaustion pulling at her limbs. Eli watched her carefully, his heart pounding with questions. "Tell me," Eli said softly, "what is this device? Why is it so important?" Lyra looked at the glowing blue object in her hand, hesitation heavy in her eyes. "It's called the Star Core," she began. "It's an ancient power source, created by a lost civilization. It can provide endless energy, or unimaginable destruction." Eli's eyebrows rose. "That's why they want to kill you?" She nodded. "Many want to control it. If it falls into the wrong hands, it could destroy entire planets." Eli thought about the burning city, the enemies chasing them. Suddenly, everything made sense. "But why you?" he asked. "Why are you the one carrying it?" Lyra's voice dropped to a whisper. "Because I am its protector. I swore to keep it safe, even if it costs me my life." Eli felt a chill. He had only wanted a quiet life, but now he was part of something much bigger. Suddenly, the bunker's old radio crackled to life. A distorted voice came through. "We know you are there, Lyra. Surrender the Star Core, and your life may be spared." Lyra's eyes widened. "They found us." Eli stepped forward. "We won't let them take it. Not while I'm here." Lyra looked at him, surprised but grateful. Outside, the sound of engines grew louder. The enemy was closing in fast. Eli realized there was no turning back. He was no longer a nobody. He was a protector now, whether he wanted it or not. Together, they prepared for what was coming. The bunker shook as enemy ships landed nearby. Eli and Lyra stood side by side, hearts pounding, ready for what would come. The enemy troops stormed in armed, ruthless, and determined to take the Star Core. Eli gripped his metal rod, no match for their weapons, but he refused to back down. Lyra held the glowing device tight, her eyes fierce. "We can't let them win," she said suddenly. The first wave of soldiers broke through the door. Eli swung his rod wildly, surprising one, attacker and knocking him down. Despite his fear, Eli found strength he never knew he had. He dodged blasts, shielded Lyra, and fought like his life depended on it. Lyra activated the Star Core. A brilliant blue energy burst forth, creating a protective shield around them both. The enemy's weapons bounced off harmlessly, but the Star Core's power was limited. It could only hold for a short time. Eli shouted, "We need to get out of here." Lyra nodded, clutching the device tightly. "Follow me." They ran through dark tunnels beneath the bunker, the sounds of battle echoing. Behind them, suddenly, Eli stumbled, pain shooting through his leg. He had been hit. Lyra stopped and looked back. "We can't leave you." Eli shook his head. "Go. Protect the Star Core. I'll slow them down." Lyra's eyes filled with tears. "No, we survived together." Before Eli could answer, a shadow appeared in the tunnel, a huge enemy soldier blocking their path. With no weapon but courage, Eli stood firm. Lyra stepped forward, holding the Star Core high. Its light flashed brighter than before, pushing the enemy back. Together, Eli and Lyra fought through the darkness. They were no longer a simple man and a mysterious woman. They were warriors bound by fire, fear, and hope. The battle had only just begun. The first light of dawn crept through the cracks of the ruined bunker. Eli sat against a cold wall, his leg wrapped in torn cloth but healing slowly. Lyra was beside him, her face calm but tired. Outside, the city was quiet now. The fires had dimmed, and the enemy forces had retreated. For the moment, peace had returned. Eli looked at Lyra. "We made it," she smiled softly. "Because you didn't give up, because you risked everything." Eli shook his head. "I was just a nobody. You were the one with the power." Lyra reached out and took his hand. "You are no longer a nobody. You saved me, saved the Star Core, and changed everything." He looked down, thinking of how his simple life had turned upside down. What now? What will happen to this? Power? Lyra held the glowing device close. "Now we protect it. We find others who want peace. But we also prepare for what comes next." Eli nodded, feeling something new inside, hope and purpose. Suddenly, a soft beep came from the Star Core. A tiny hologram flickered to life, showing a distant star system. Lyra's eyes widened. "This is a message, a call for help. We're not alone." Eli stood, determination burning in his eyes. "Then we answer it." Together, they stepped out into the morning light, ready to face a new journey. Two strangers bound by fire and fate, now partners, in a fight that would change the galaxy forever. Asterisk.